What's up? I'm in like a sharing mood and I feel like talking about my mental health shit, and that mood doesn't come around all that often, so I thought I'd do a video on it while I feel like talking about it. Maya is on board. Maya, what up, girl? But whenever I'm like posing, not posing, but just like sitting with the perfect lighting and everything, I go into like perfection mode where I like, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I do like that, which is fine, but I want to be like as myself as possible while talking about this. So I'm gonna be like sweatpants, fuzzy socks, fuzzy blanket, fuzzy dogged out, and like eat a comfort food item while I tell you all about not only my mental health trolls, but also, get this chocolate by the way, but also how I got on medicine and what medicine I'm taking and what my side effects are. I'm just gonna like give you the whole rundown because I first of all want to help those of you who are thinking about medication but don't know if it's right for you, or if you think it's right for you, you don't know how to go about finding it. And I also like think it's important to not feel so alone about this kind of stuff. So if you're haunted by racing thoughts, panic attacks, and depressive episodes, keep on watching. Okay. Anyways, so I'm gonna start by, are my lips chapped? That'd be embarrassing. No, they're good. I'll start by telling you like my mental health things, and then yeah, I'll just like go through the whole thing basically. So I was like always an anxious kid, but I didn't know I was anxious, you know, when you don't know mental illness is a thing because it's taught to you like way too late in life, you know. You like don't know that you have it, and then you have it, and then it explains like so much about your life and your like behavior patterns and thoughts and just overall experience thus far. Anyways, I was always like a pretty anxious kid, big perfectionist, whatever. This is too much information. Let's fast forward to when I was in college. College is when I started like really having symptoms of anxiety, and I had my first panic attack. I got in an argument with someone and like could really feel myself like starting to hyperventilate. So I went and sat in my closet because I was embarrassed, and just like sat like this and just fully had a panic attack. And if you've never had a panic attack before, you not only are hyperventilating, but like your hands and arms and feet and legs can start to go numb. And that's what happened to me, and I was like, I'm fully dying. This is a full death, code red, call the police situation. And then 5 minutes later, I was fine. But that was my first panic attack moment, and then I started having them 2 to 3 times a week because I was just like, I was so anxious about the fact that I was having them that anxiety would turn into another panic attack, which would then make my anxiety worse about having a panic attack. So then I would have another one, and it just like really started to spiral. And this is like the last year and a half of my college. And then I got to grad school, and I didn't like seek out therapy. I didn't do anything I should have done. I talked to my friends about it. I told my mom about it, and just kind of thought it was college stress, and I was like, I'll be fine. So then I got to grad school, and I was still like highly functioning. Like I would go to class and everything, and then just have these panic attacks at night usually. So I got to grad school, and then with the change and everything, I was feeling better. I had like new shit to focus on, new friends, a new city, blah, blah, blah. And then I started having panic attacks again. My anxiety was super bad. So I decided to go see a therapist. Therapist wasn't great, but I mean, wasn't great for me, not wasn't great like herself. But it still helped to just talk about it freely and not worry about annoying anyone. So therapy did help a bit, but even with the coping strategies I learned in therapy, and just even with the things I was learning both in therapy and through my own research, and I was in grad school for social work and had just gotten a bachelor's degree in psychology. So like I knew at this point what was going on in my brain, and I just like had such a stigma in my brain about medication that I was like, okay, I'll just go to therapy for a little bit. I'm learning these coping skills in school, like I should be able to implement them. I haven't even eaten a chocolate yet. I was like, I'm learning these coping strategies in school. I don't know how I'm not implementing them into my life. So I just kept trying to do it on my own, / with a therapist for like a year, maybe half a year. Then my symptoms got really fucking bad. And by that I mean just like really bad anxiety, really bad panic attacks. Thought I needed to go to the hospital one day because my thoughts were so bad. It just was not good, not good mental health times. I was 21 at the time, and these are so good. So then I finally saw a psychiatrist who put me on Klonopin. Klonopin is not an antidepressant. Klonopin is an anxiety medicine that you take as needed. So if you feel a panic attack coming, or you feel yourself becoming anxious, you take it. That's what she told me. And then if one pill doesn't work, take another half. So it was literally day one trying this medicine. I was on my way to work at the coffee shop, and I started feeling anxious, so I took a pill. Got to work, was still feeling anxious, so I took another half, and I literally fainted at work. So I was like, okay, I don't think this medicine is really for me. So I went back to the psychiatrist. By the way, I'm supposed to be explaining how to do this. You can find a psychiatrist by going to your health insurance. You can call them or go to their website. Calling them usually works if you can take a break from your anxiety long enough to make a phone call to a human person, which is hard for me, so I assume it's hard for some of you as well. But they'll give you a full list of psychiatrists that they cover. And so then you just go through the list until someone has availability, because the real troll is that sometimes the psychiatrist will be like, yeah, okay, I don't have an opening until 2 months from now. And you're like, okay, I guess I'll just kind of want to die until then. All right. So you might have to call a lot of places. The psychiatrist I found was like the 5th or 6th one on the list maybe. So anyways, went back, was like, this is not for me. So then I got put on 25 milligrams of ZOLOFT, and that's an antidepressant. And they tell you, and this is very, very true based on my experience, that your symptoms will stay the same or even get a little bit worse in the first 1 to 4 weeks of taking it, usually 2 to 3 weeks. And yeah, I did not feel any better the first couple weeks, and I was like, fuck this, I'm never gonna find a medicine that works for me. Like, I don't know why people take this, whatever. And then the 3rd week, I woke up and I felt so much better. Like, just not as many racing thoughts, no more like heart palpitations. I felt great. I felt not great. I felt better. And it was awesome. And I was able to I was able to use the coping skills I'd learned better because my brain wasn't in full 911 mode. If you can actually think, you can use the coping skills that you know. If the chemicals in your brain are like, fuck you, and just go, like, it can be done, but for me, I had such a hard time accessing and utilizing the coping skills I knew because my brain was already in like code red mode. So on the medicine, I was able to rationally think and rearrange my thoughts, and I still had anxiety, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't having panic attacks and my anxiety was significantly worse. So then I took that for a while and was still having like a little bit of anxiety a few months later, and so I went back for a checkup and I told them I was still experiencing like anxiety almost daily over like no life events or anything, just having it. And so they upped it just a little bit to 50 milligrams. And I've been on the 50 milligrams for over 4 years. And so I was on the 50 milligrams for about 4 years. And then in April of this year, oh my God, that was the worst bite of anything I've ever taken. I thought if I took a bite like in the wrapper, the crumbs would like fall back into the wrapper and I wouldn't embarrass myself, but instead I just like ate part of the wrapper. Do I have chocolate? No. Okay. So then in April of this year, I'm self-employed and I lost my dad's health insurance because I turned 26. And so then I got my own shitty health insurance that doesn't really cover psychiatrist visits or psychiatric drugs. And I was like, okay, I'm really fucking happy. My life is great. I have everything I could ever want. I feel great. And I'm losing my dad's health insurance. I think this is a great time to try to get off my medicine. Like, I don't know if I want to be on it forever. I don't know why I thought I didn't want to be on it forever. I just like, I thought it's bad for your liver. I mean, I think it is bad for your liver to be on medicine for that long, but I don't know. I just felt the need to try to get off of it. Felt like the best time if there was ever one. So I weaned myself off of it using research and my own knowledge. I should have consulted a doctor, and that's on me. I should have, I did a lot of research about weaning yourself off, and I know a lot about it from my schooling, but I still should have talked to my psychiatrist before doing it, and I didn't, and that's totally on me. But I weaned myself off the way I was supposed to based on my research, and I don't know, man, bad thoughts came back. I was down to taking like just a little bit every other day, and I was almost completely off of it, and I was having such bad anxiety, such bad racing thoughts, and I was just like on the verge of a depressive episode. I could feel it. Like, I felt like if I had just one day where I didn't see the sun, it would be game over for weeks. So if you struggle with depression, you know exactly what feeling I'm talking about, where you know, like, I gotta go for a walk today or I'm gonna be in my bed for the next 3 weeks. So also, another disclaimer, I'm like very afraid of people being mean to me about this, but I also know that there's a bit of an adjustment period. Once you're all the way off the medicine, your brain can like your brain gets used to being off the medicine, basically. I don't know what big words I was trying to use just now, but I got almost all the way off of it, and I didn't want to put up with the symptoms for another month while my brain got used to not being on the medicine. Like once I was all the way off, it just didn't seem worth it to me. Like I felt my brain getting to a bad place, and my life is perfect, and my brain was not healthy enough for me to enjoy the life that I love so much. And so I made the decision to go back on it, and I've felt great ever since. So yeah, so this is also like, if you've tried to wean yourself off and it didn't work, that's okay. You're not a failure. You tried. You didn't even have to try. Also, if you've weaned yourself off successfully, that's also awesome. Like on medicine, not on medicine, whatever, you're doing great. Like it's whatever helps you enjoy your life to the fullest, basically. So yeah, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, my side effects. I literally only had 2 side effects. One was night sweats. The other was lowered libido, but the lowered libido was a very temporary side effect. So that is no longer a side effect. But the first, like, night sweats, I sweat at night, almost every night. Some nights are worse than others, but some mornings I wake up and I'm like literally in a pool of my own sweat. I got this like cooling gel thing to put under my mattress, which helps a little bit, but I don't know. It's just like you never know when it's really gonna hit you, and then you wake up in the morning, it's like a rude awakening. So those were the only side effects I had. I did not, a lot of people asked me if I gained weight on it. I did not. It has not seemed to affect my like metabolism or how I hold weight. It hasn't affected any of that. Yeah, it hasn't affected that. That's literally the only side effect. Also, if you like, you can't forget it on a vacation or anything, because if I don't take it for more than a day, my brain starts like, this is gonna sound weird. If anyone is on antidepressants, you'll know what I'm talking about, I think. Your brain starts like short circuiting. It just goes like bzz. Like I don't know how to explain it, but there's like, you can tell your brain is like, where the fuck is that chemical? And it's really uncomfortable and distracting, and I forgot it on a trip one time, and I had to like have it emergency filled. And so I guess another side effect is that you're kind of tied to it. Like you can't just not take it for a couple days. Your brain will start doing weird, like just weird things. So anyways, wanted to make this video to destigmatize medicine, tell my experience, tell you how you can find a psychiatrist if you're interested. A psychiatrist, if it's a good one, will listen to your symptoms and tell you if they think you need it or not, and if they think it's right for you. I always think people should try therapy even when on medicine. It's the best treatment is therapy plus the medicine. So I highly recommend finding a therapist that works for you, which just like the psychiatrist, it may take a few phone calls, it may take a few visits before you find someone who's right for you, but that's okay. Just stick with it, just be patient. That's the same thing with like getting on medicine, especially if you're gonna get on an antidepressant. Like, you have to be patient, which fucking sucks whenever your mental health is in shambles. It's really hard to be like, okay, I'll just wait 3 weeks for it to get better. But if you're patient and then it helps you, it was worth the wait. During the time where your brain, the medicine is like, during the first couple weeks of you taking it, please like talk to loved ones. Make sure you have someone you can talk to in case your brain is just like not loving it at first, in case like you have a rough adjustment period. My symptoms didn't get worse, they just stayed the same. But some people's symptoms do get worse, so just make sure you're around like loved ones, someone you could talk to, your pet, you know. And yeah, that's it. This was a pretty unexciting video, I'm sure, but also If it even helped one of you, I'm pretty pumped about that. So, yeah. Love y'all. Hope you're having a great day. Be yourself. Talk to people when you're feeling bad. That's it. Love you. Okay. Bye.